everybody and welcome on today's video. Today is a bonsai wise important day why? Well, because I'm going to do something about this poor fusion tree that I've been trying to complete for the last 731 years with not much success, because well, every time that I added some trees, well, they died back during summer. But now that I have my shade places, I think that I will be a little more successful. So I'm going to get this out and replace, well, add some more little trees. So yeah, let's do this. So I was preparing everything to start this video, and then it started to rain, and yeah, well, now I have my huge pot here and I prepared a whole lot of soil already, which is a mix of lava, bims, well, pumice, cat litter, stuff like that, and now it's all wet, but yeah, what can you do? So first thing is getting this monster out of the pot, and then clean this all up. As you see, half of the substrate is still in place, which is what I intended last year, because I wanted this this tree to just grow up until here, because I need to add the second trunk. Now the second trunk is a problem of its own, because well, I do not have that, and I don't know if I will be able to have this today, because I don't have a whole lot of spares. But I will see. Now what I've been doing the last autumn is having a look at what was alive, what was dead, and I am a little bit worried about this one. I'm not sure if this one is alive, but I'll have a look. It seems green, but it has, yeah, this strange color here, like it is not a really happy, but yeah, okay. So I'm going to clean up the root ball. Well, not really clean up, but rake out the roots here, and at least get rid of all the weeds and stuff. And then I will put it in the new pot and see how I can improve this. It should not be difficult to improve this. Now, I don't really think that I'm going to do a whole lot of root cutting, because I want to keep as many roots as I possibly can. And I feel that this whole operation is going to be, well, quite messy. But yeah. So maybe a few roots here I should cut off. So, what I'll do now is cut off a few roots here, and then clean up my working space here, and maybe keep some of the nice moss and things like that. And when this whole disaster is cleaned up, well, I will be back. So all the old soil is now back in the pot, and the weeds or two, but I'll keep this in a bag until summer. Then I let that dry and I sift it, and most of this soil will be reused next year. Okay, so these are the replacement trees, and this is the tree that I'm going to work on, and this is the pot. It's not really a pot, it's a big wooden box that I made. I even made a video about that, and I feel that I added really too much substrate in this, so I think I'll need to get some out, or maybe open up this root ball a little, or maybe do both. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, so this one goes here, and then, well, that's a lot of substrate. Okay, first this one goes on the ground, and then I'll try to get rid of some of this soil here at the bottom. And I think that this will include some root pruning, maybe, well, maybe not, I don't know. I see how much I can get rid of that. If I can lose 1 or 2 centimeters, I'll be quite happy. Anyway, it's really gonna be a question of getting this thing in the pot up to this level, because I want the trees that I plant now this year to be well covered. So I'm going to clean up this root ball, and then I'll be back. I'm still getting rid of some of the older soil, and I'm discovering some quite big roots here that were probably never really cut off, but not a whole lot. Maybe I can just remove a few of these guys, not too much. And I'm just removing the soil at the bottom, not doing too much on the surface, because, well, there's no need to. You see, the new trees will have to come here, so there's no point removing stuff here. I'll have to cover it anyway. I'll just push my chopstick right through it in some spots to make it a little lighter, allowing some air to penetrate. I think I'm almost there now. So I will remove some soil in the new pot, and then plant this tree. Well, not really planting it, but just putting it at the appropriate level. So now I have just a very thin layer of substrate in the new pot, And when I mean a thin layer, it's really a thin layer. It's maybe, well, 1 centimeter. So this is the new home. Feel that I'm going to have quite some air gaps here, so that's not good. But what is good is that the lip of the pot is coming over the part here. So I'll just add a little bit of substrate right here so that I can work that part in. Now, of course, it's not really the time to style this tree, but okay. The front is going to be somewhere here, and I will position the roots that I have, because it would be stupid not to. And well, here should be a secondary trunk, but well, that's not going to be for now. So now I'll need to get the new little trees. These are the new ones, and well, I'm going to get them out of the pots here and then add them, and I'm not going to cut any roots. No way that I'm weakening any of these guys. So one here, and the only thing that counts now is that I have a good distribution of new little trees, and that they stay where I need them to stay, which is not going to be easy, but okay. So that's gonna be it, and not a whole lot more. So these trees do not stay there because you are asking them kindly. No, you need to secure them one way or another, and therefore I have a piece of wire here that I will use to gently press them against the foam trunk. This is good. This is good, but here I have a whole lot of missing trees. But yeah, as you can see, the new trees have swelling buds, so that's really nice. This is an old piece of wire that I can use. Yeah, but I don't think that I have enough trees to make the second trunk. But I really hope that this year things will be a little better. And sadly, I couldn't find any seeds, anywhere. Strange. Starting to feel that these trees, like oaks, last year I didn't find a single acorn. And this year I couldn't find any hornbeam. So these trees are absolutely not where I wanted them to be regarding the place on the trunk, and I'm not going to care. I'll just be happy if they stay at the base, and then I'll secure them there. It's not a spectacular video, but it is for me. This one has some mud, which I could use to press some of the others closer. Yeah. But I don't think that I'm going to make another video on this tree in the coming 2 years at least, because I think the only thing it has to do is grow. But I'm glad that I had a few seedlings left here. So if these grow well, in 2 years they might be able to fill up the gaps. So one more to go here, and I think that's gonna be it. Okay. Now if they're happy and they're growing well, these things can go fast. Trying to fix it with a little mud here, which is working quite nicely. Yeah, it will definitely need a little bit of wire, so I'm going to do that. Just electrical wire at the root base. That's all. And I'm going to cover this up and work the soil in, especially, well, up to here, and then I see what I can do for this non-existing secondary trunk. So, this is the substrate that I removed, and let's just get it on top. Now that's a good start, and honestly I think that's everything I need. Trying to get rid of some of the biggest gaps here, and then I see what I have left to maybe do something here. I've been looking around, and the only thing that I could find are, well, this Carpinus, which could make a fair piece of secondary trunk, and then I have 3 little seedlings left. But then I also have this here, which is the bundle fusion, and well, like all the other trees, had its fair amount of problems. I think the thick one is dead, but maybe a part of the thinner one is alive. So just scratching the surface here, the thick one is gone. But this one, I might be able to rescue a part of it, because I see that there's some green here. So this one could be good. So I'll try to clean up the roots and have a good look on what is going on here. That piece of wire here, I'm not sure. I think that a part of this root is dead, or is it completely? I think this root is dead, but this portion is still alive. So I'll nibble my way to see where the living tissue is. So this is dead. There's no use keeping that, I think. No. Still no green. So I think the only portion that is doing okay is this, which is not much, but I can try it. This branch looks quite flexible, so I think up to here I can use this. This is nice and green, so I'm going to use this one too. And here, like I said, well, just to be sure, I'm going to have a look, but no, which is sad. Was starting to look good, this one, but this summer will be better. So let's clean this up. Okay, so I'd like to have this one a little more straight here. So I'll press some substrate under it. And now I'm going to add the trees that I have. But it's going to be a little bit complicated because, well, the height of the... Is this stone? Okay. The height should be, well, where the height should be. So I think that I'm giving up the idea of having a secondary foam trunk. So I'll just try to... I think this little piece is dead. Yeah, this one is okay, this is dead. So I'm going to clean that up then. Now it's much easier to access. So this one can come in the back or front. What should I do? Maybe front would make a nice branch here. So this one can come here, but I don't think that the height of the roots will be okay here. So probably add a small one here, and I don't think it will float here miraculously, but it does. Okay, that's very strange. Anyway, I'm going to support this, and then I have the second big one that I'm going to try to put here right in the middle. Okay, so I'm sure it has a front and a back. So that will be it. So I'll work this one in, just keeping it in position and then adding some substrate. It's not holding 100%, but it's not bad. And then I have two here, just removing some excess soil. So one can come here and the other one will come there. Now, of course, that means that this portion of the fusion will not close with only these little trees, but like I said, that's not my concern at the moment. I think if everything that I planted today grows, it's gonna be a big success. And now it's just a question of working this in. And that will be very good. Now in the coming months, I'll try to find some more seedlings, but I will let them grow in a separate pot just to be sure that they thicken up, and maybe also try to manage the roots so that they grow mostly in one direction. And in another year or 2 or 3, I don't know, I can add them between the existing trees, trunks, and then probably widen up this a little bit. And how this will work regarding the upper parts, I do not know. But I just think that this fusion project that was supposed to be great in 3 or 4 years is not doing so well. And again, mostly my fault. They were not sitting in a proper location. Too hot in the summer, and also I tried too much to work on the surface and didn't give the trees enough time to settle in the pots and grow healthy and strong. So if you want to try fusion, these are the things you should consider. I noticed that Tony from Tony's Bonsai is also trying to do fusion now, which is really great. He also is trying some bundle fusion with some beeches, which is really nice. It's always interesting to see how someone does these things. Really like his channel, he's a fun guy. It's not always easy for me to understand him because, well, he has an accent. Can I put it that way without being unrespectful? I mean, but it's not always easy to understand everyone online. I'm trying my best, you know. Okay, so I think this is worked in nicely now, and I'm just going to cover this whole thing up to here, and that's gonna be it. And then I'll reposition some of my wires. Okay. So somewhere here is my electrical wire, which I have to get out now. And I hope that the substrate is keeping everything almost where it's supposed to be. So I'm trying to have a look at the root base. This is the root base. I'm quite happy with how this looks. I'm going to try to reposition some of the small ones here. Quite happy with the big ones. So this is the proper level to put my wire, which I will do now. Then maybe we can have a look at what's going on in the top, because there are a few good things happening, I think, but also a few not too good things. So yeah, but this wire is holding everything nicely in position, and I'm going to cover this whole thing up, and it will have to grow. That's it. So why not apply a little bit of old moss that I took from the other pot. It's not doing any good, and it's also not doing any harm. So yeah, why not? So well, technically you're now looking at the what's this? This is the front. Yeah, this is the front. Tree sitting on the turntable, which makes it a whole lot easier to do some final adjustments. I have a big piece of aluminum wire here that I used to keep the trees against the foam trunk, but it's not helping now because a whole lot of the new trunks are not there. So it would be wise to remove that, because the only thing that this piece of wire can do now is scar the existing trees. So I need to get rid of that. Okay, well, that was easy. And now I just have to pull it out from this side. Okay. And I have a few pieces of wire up here, which I can keep, I think. This is a dead tree. Yeah. You see, these were perfectly acceptable trees regarding the thickness, but didn't make it. But okay, I'll let these ones just grow, grab into the soil, and then maybe in the end of the summer or autumn, if I see that they do well, I can get them a little closer to the foam trunk. So again, for everyone who's trying to do fusion, first make sure your trees are well rooted or strong, and then work on the top parts. I think it's even better to start these things as just a clump. I mean trying to get the root base together, and the rest you'll sort out afterwards. It's the best way, I think. Okay, going to move the camera a little now to give you an overall view. So here we have it. Big wooden pot, and well, quite big tree. Looks like this. Quite big holes, but that's okay. Maybe I'm quite happy that I gave up the idea of making two trunks. I'm not sure about that. I'll see. Anyway, the parts in the top are doing well, so that's good. There will be some more fusion this year, I think. Some of the things are already starting to fuse here, so that's good. I'll probably have to add at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 saplings that I need to find somewhere. And if I don't find them this year, well, I'll find them next year. And what I'm certainly going to do is trying to collect a lot of seeds and let them grow for a year or two. So I don't think that this project will be anywhere before 3 or 4 years, but that's okay. I've been making lots of mistakes, and so I hope I can avoid you making the same ones. But it's still an interesting thing. It's a good learning process. So we'll see how it goes. If you want to know how it goes, well, please subscribe to the channel. There's a whole series on this thing. You can see the beginning of it, all of my failures, and maybe from now on we'll go in the right direction towards success. So thank you for watching, and see you next time.